Immediately following her divorce, Lindsay's life looked stable on the surface. She was a hairstylist, a business owner, a mother. To anyone watching, she was functioning smoothly amidst the chaos. But underneath that capable exterior, she was operating in a psychological vacuum. Psychologists call this survival mode. It's a state where every ounce of energy goes into basic daily functioning. You pay the bills and keep the kids fed, but there is a gap between who you are and what you're doing. This diagram plots that survival loop. Notice how, as outward stability stays high, internal self-awareness actually drops. Telling yourself, "I'm fine," becomes a shield. It protects you from the weight of having to disrupt your entire life to start over. Staying in that loop means putting all your effort into maintaining an illusion. It effectively keeps you from seeing who you actually are under the pressure of a major life transition. Escaping requires you to become an investigator of your own mind. For Lindsay, that period of survival became the specific map she used to start rebuilding herself from the inside out. The pressures of single motherhood and modern dating eventually made stagnation impossible. Lindsay had to look at her life as it was, a collection of fragmented pieces waiting to be reassembled. She stopped making excuses because she recognized that lost time doesn't return. That's when she began moving forward with intent. That movement leads straight into the messy middle. It is a non-linear phase of growth where you question everything and face the uncomfortable lessons you've been avoiding. It's tempting to project a facade of having it all figured out, but the real shift happens when you sit in that discomfort rather than hiding from it. To navigate that middle ground, Lindsay focused on the specific mechanics of her behavior, starting with attachment styles. This matrix maps out those attachment styles, isolating the fearful avoidance sector. It's a drive for connection constantly blocked by a fear of intimacy. In practice, these clashing drivers create hot and cold behavior that breaks connections before they start. Managing those patterns requires the second mechanic, communication styles. Understanding whether you're being passive or assertive is the first step in setting and enforcing a boundary. This flowchart demonstrates the mechanics of pattern disruption. It isn't enough to see a cycle. You have to act at the divergence point. This is where you replace an old habit with a deliberate, different choice. Throughout this process, humor serves a strategic function. Laughing at the absurdities of the dating world makes self-reflection feel less like an indictment and more like a conversation. By breaking down attachment theory, communication, and behavioral patterns, the pain of a divorce stops being an abstract weight. It becomes a set of specific emotional mechanics you can actually address. Applying these mechanics to her own life created a foundation for something bigger. Lindsay's private healing journey eventually scaled into Unapologetically Me. The platform exists because the work of healing is often done in total isolation. Most people struggle through these changes without a map or a way to feel seen. Unlike content that presents a perfectly healed end state, Lindsay focuses on the honesty of the process. It's about being raw and self-aware, even when it's uncomfortable. This digital community serves as a place to reflect and say out loud the things most people keep hidden. It's a space to grow without the pressure of having life figured out. The objective isn't to reach a state where you have no more problems. It's about continuous growth, being honest with yourself, and the simple relief of finally coming home to who you are.